Major YouTube meltdown, or did he walk away on his own? Conspiracy theorists dig into 1A Audits Exposé's removal from YouTube. Are Denver Metro Audits or Liberty Troll to blame for the takedown? Plus, what will happen to pending legal action against the channel now that the channel is down? Craig Hendry live streams to reassure his viewers that the United States government is the problem, not him, as he makes his first statement from being released from jail last week. Shares that 1-year-old baby daughter did not recognize him after his 9-month stint in jail. Does not accept guilt for the crimes he was convicted of, as an appeal is still pending. Plus, mystery solved? ZOINKS, the owner of the 1A Audits Exposé channel, goes live with Frauditor Mania to address Cordova's failed attempts to take down his channel. Says he self-deleted his channel and he's taking a break. What does the future hold for the pair? And who came up with the idea for him to call himself the Exposer? I'm your humble newsreader, Pants, and it's hot. I'm frazzled. And dear God, the Exposer? What in heaven's name? He just... No. Worst nickname ever. Frazzled aside, I'm squaring my jaw and looking you dead in the eye like a pensioner defending his 3 individual Arby's franchises investments in the same 20-mile radius. Like Arby's, I have the meats, true believers, and I'm willing to take you to auditing insanity. Followers of the 1A Audits Exposé YouTube channel were shocked Friday morning to find that their favorite channel had apparently been removed from the service after receiving too many DMCA takedown notices. While the channel no longer appears in the playboard.co channel listings, a quick Social Blade checks showed that the channel had 4,860 subscribers, 519 videos, and 1,834,437 views since being created on March 31st, 2024. Cryptically, the Social Blade status shows the channel had picked up 110 new viewers in the last 30 days and seemed healthy enough. However, thanks to purging videos, it had lost 58,000 views in the last 30 days, including 18,380 views on Thursday. No data is available for Friday, and unlike every other healthy channel we follow, there isn't even a listing for Friday's metrics, which is the best indication that the channel is gone. When we last reported on the channel, it had run afoul of Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova, and that Randall S., the unhinged attorney Newman, Esquire, who had hit the channel with 17 DMCA takedown requests. There had been reports that the channel owners had been prepared to fight some of the strikes due to fair use grounds and rumors that the channel was seeking legal representation. On Thursday, Cordova took things a step further by having Newman seek out 1A Audits Exposé through a proposed subpoena of the channel's information submitted to a court in the Northern District of California. That request remains outstanding. Renowned Happy Birthday attorney Newman commented on the apparent channel deletion. He bragged the videos were fair use, said he'd file counters, and now the channel's gone. Doesn't really add up, does it? I guess we'll have to wait for his farewell live stream with Mailroom Boy later today. The irony? It was a live stream with Mailroom Boy that got him into this mess in the first place. According to Cordova, 1A Audits Exposé was offered a settlement deal, but was unwilling to accept the deal in exchange for all the money 1A Audits Exposé made off of the videos where he violated Cordova's copyright. That settlement would include membership revenue, super chats, AdSense, and sponsorships, plus attorney's fees, an agreement to keep the videos permanently down, no new videos about Cordova, and a public apology for violating YouTube's fair use guidelines. With the channel apparently removed by YouTube for the multiple DMCA violations, it is unclear whether or not the legal proceedings against it will continue. 1A Audits Exposé is scheduled to appear on the Frauditor Mania channel tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time to discuss the takedown. This is a breaking news story. Convicted felon Craig Hendry went live from his Indiana home on Thursday, where he addressed his incarceration, reuniting with his family, and what he sees as the problem with the world. Hint, it's the government. Hendry explained that he was currently appealing his felony stalking and misdemeanor harassment convictions from Vermilion County, Indiana, where he said that he was convicted of telling people to call the Clinton, Indiana City Hall and for the messages those who called made to the workers at the City Hall. The YouTuber refused to take any responsibility for his actions after serving 9 months out of an 18-month sentence, which had been reduced due to overcrowding and good behavior. Hendry revealed publicly that he had been offered a plea deal in his trial for those charges that would have seen him do a mix of 6 months unsupervised probation and 6 months of formal prosecution. He claimed that he declined the offer because he refused to take plea deals from the government. He would later state that the jury just wanted to go home and accused most juries of being conditioned through TV and movies to side with the government, as on every police-related TV show or movie, the suspect was always guilty. Hendry made bond in both Greene and Sullivan counties last week and explained that his last live stream from a detention cell in Sullivan County resulted in a massive outpouring of direct donations that allowed him to collect enough to make bond. Originally facing a $12,000 bond in Sullivan County, the bond was reduced at a hearing last week to $8,000. Hendry is scheduled to go on trial for the Sullivan County charges on November 18th, 2025. He is scheduled for trial on the Greene County charges on September 9th, 2025. The wavy-haired YouTuber said he had high hopes for the appeal of his Vermilion County-based conviction. However, he had doubts, as he wasn't asking for compensation for his wrongful conviction. Hendry stated that he was simply asking the government to admit that it was wrong in incarcerating him for the crimes he was convicted of. Hendry made it clear that if he failed in his appeal, he would attempt to appeal to the Indiana State Supreme Court. He said that a federal appeal would be out of the question, as he believed the United States Supreme Court only took cases from when someone was currently in jail. Switching gears, Hendry went on to explain that the government was the key problem with society. He said his future plans would involve his continued attempts to educate the public to see that all of their problems were based on the government. The YouTuber implied that society would not truly be free until everyone acknowledged the problem. Meaningful change will not happen. He then assured his followers that he would work to be a tool of that change. Hendry's release has not paid off in donations to either his active GoFundMe or the GoFundMe run on his behalf by Jose Chili de Castro. The To Support Craig's Work GoFundMe campaign has remained at $7,230 since June, while de Castro's Craig's Freedom Depends on Your Help fund has remained at $285 during the same period. Both funds, obviously, did not receive donations on Friday, as they sat in a field of goose eggs along with the rest of the market for the third straight day. Hendry declined to do meetings when asked on the live stream, but said he would be open to doing interviews and appearances on other channels. When Jose Chili de Castro appeared in the live stream's side chat, Hendry apologized for not getting back to anyone, as he said he was taking time to reconnect with his family. He would go on to remind everyone that his conviction had an enormous impact on his family, as his son could not understand why his father was away, and that his now almost 1-year-old daughter did not recognize him when he returned home. Hendry is not currently scheduled to do further live streams, though promised his fans they'd hear more from him in the near future. Friday's mystery of what happened to the 1A Audits Exposé channel was solved late in the day as the exposer from 1A Audits Exposé joined Frauditor Mania on their joint Friday livestream on Mania's channel to explain that he had personally taken down his channel as he was taking a break from live streaming. The exposer said that he had made the decision to take his channel down to pause what has been a difficult week for the YouTuber. While he was elated that YouTube restored the long-form videos that had DMCA claims filed by Christopher Denver Metro Audits Cordova, and that Randall S. the unhinged attorney Newman, Esquire, deeming them fair use, he still faced 15 strikes from shorts based on those same videos that YouTube has yet to remove. Joining co-host Frauditor Mania in mocking Cordova and Newman, the exposer admitted that his channel was set up through a business and gloated that neither would ever know his true identity, as it was protected by the business. He also admitted that his channel may permanently be shut down by YouTube on Monday, which was the deadline for action on his existing strikes. The anti-auditing pair brought up a recent video by Dr. Dave, where he shared that he had also had success in fighting DMCA takedowns of 15 of his own long-form videos from his own dealings with Cordova and Zachary Liberty Troll Cooker. In Dr. Dave's case, echoing their own case, YouTube appears to be standing by unofficial long-form policy to restore long-form videos when a lawsuit does not appear to be pending. This is reflective of their handling of Jose Chili de Castro's hundreds of DMCA claims against the Welsh News Network last year, where WNN ultimately was able to stay on the air as de Castro never followed through with actual lawsuits. The pair also said they felt targeted even though neither of their channels made enough money to live off of, as both men worked outside jobs, even though the amount of time they spent creating videos each week could be considered a full-time job. Announcing that he made around $30 in revenue from videos related to Cordova, the exposer said he was willing to part with that amount when confronted by Cordova with a settlement demand letter. He addressed the letter from Cordova, hinting at an agreement that could have been reached if Cordova had not added a poison pill that doomed any agreements between the men. According to the exposer, Cordova's demand that he make a public statement admitting to violating the fair use policy was that poison pill, and he would never agree to it. He asserted that he was not guilty of any violations, and that it would be stupid to make such an admission. Frauditor Mania added that while he was not a lawyer, he worked in the legal field and warned that any such admission could haunt the exposer or anyone else faced with such a demand. Admitting guilt brings limits to actual legal defenses and can be used against a defendant in an actual court case. Both men admitted that the luster of running First Amendment reaction channels was wearing on them, with the exposer declaring that he had a second channel in the works and probably would not return to featuring auditor videos. The pair played a flat derp video featuring Derp's thoughts on Newman, Cordova, and the auditor known as the First Amendment Protection Agency, or FAPA, before turning to play Dr. Dave's latest video featuring a series of settlement demand letters from Cordova. In that video, Dr. Dave read from a demand letter similar to the one that the exposer had received from Cordova. Dr. Dave's letter, however, had a change to the demand for an admission of guilt. Cordova allegedly wanted Dr. Dave to record a video admitting that he improperly used Cordova's videos and violated the fair use agreement. That video would then be aired on Cordova's channel and used in further videos. When Dr. Dave refused to agree to the initial terms, including that video statement, Cordova followed with a flat demand of $30,000 from Dr. Dave to settle the case. Dr. Dave has refused to comply with that demand as of press time. Returning to their live stream, Mania and the exposer declared that the legal action would be unsuccessful. They agreed Cordova and others would be spending thousands of dollars to sue when the combined earnings from their channels for Cordova-related material would be hard-pressed to pass an amount in the hundreds of dollars. Addressing the live stream when contacted by ReallyCoolNews, attorney Newman stated, "They lie about the strikes. They don't understand the law or my client's rights, and they made admissions that they didn't have a successful channel until they started stealing auditor footage. I enjoyed watching." In related news, the request for early discovery in the Cordova versus John Doe lawsuit was denied by Judge Donna M. Rue. The judge granted the request for a stay by Attorney Newman on Cordova's behalf, while attempts to obtain the identity of the owner of the Destination to Truth YouTube channel are pursued through a separate legal action. Judge Rue vacated all previous deadlines in the lawsuit and granted Cordova until January 7th, 2026, to file an update on the case, or else it may be dismissed for failure to prosecute. The continued attention to Cordova and Cooker has not resulted in donations to their ongoing GoFundMe campaigns, which remained stagnant in Saturday's results. Our own ongoing expenses campaign ended a 3-day goose egg market with a $10 donation from our devoted hate watcher. Cordova and Newman are expected to live stream later today to address accusations made by Frauditor Mania and the Exposer. We need your help. Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper and our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, feeding the cats, defending ourselves from lawsuit threats, and writing news stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, you can do so via a donation to our PayPal, Cash App, or GoFundMe accounts. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch our videos from beginning to end, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.